How's it going, everybody? This is Chris Ward coming to you from the west side of the Capitol building in Denver, Colorado. And it's difficult to see now, but yesterday we had anywhere between 50 to some counted 200,000 people were out here for the Women's March. It was an incredible event globally. And I wanted to respond to yesterday I'd overheard some commentary of people that didn't understand the march, that were wondering why people would participate in the march. And I just wanted to remind everybody about the power of the act of protest. And when we go through American history, we can point out every fundamental right that we own today, we got because of protest, dating back to our forefathers who fought for our independence, to fighting for slavery, even up till 1920 when we had the 19th Amendment for women's suffrage. So when I hear people say, why are they protesting? Why do we need to protest everything? Everything that we have today is because of protest. And in particular, the right to vote. And yesterday I heard an incredible testimony from our very own Channel 9 News anchor, Anastasia Bolton. And I want to share with you her testimony, and I think that it will essentially give you an understanding of how important it is to participate in the vote and understand all the people that sacrificed, that were part of the women's suffrage movement, that gave us that ability to vote. And so I'd love you to hear that testimony right here.
For many of you who were born in this country, voting is a right. To me, it's a privilege. I was born in Moscow, Russia. I immigrated to this country in the mid-90s. My first presidential election was in 2008. I had just become a citizen. I registered immediately, and I was proud to go vote. I didn't do the mail-in ballot. I went to my polling place because I wanted to know how it felt to actually matter. To be heard, and for my voice to count. I touched that machine ever so gently to make sure I was doing the right thing, and I apologize. This is emotional for me even still. So when I watched the inauguration of my first president, I cried. It was slightly embarrassing because I was on a treadmill at the gym. Apparently I'm a public crier. So I looked at him and I said out loud, this is my president. Russia is a place where strong, vocal members of opposition are mysteriously, or not so mysteriously, killed in the streets, in the heart of the city. The place where being a journalist is dangerous. That's where I'm from. And while it's not all bad, I choose. I am lucky enough to be able to choose to live here. I'm an American. I raised my family here. I vote here. It makes me mad when people are cavalier with their privilege, when they say it's not important, or they won't participate because they're mad and nothing will change. I am passionate about our democracy. I am excited to cast my ballot because I cannot wait to be heard. I know it matters, and I am certain I will count.
I hope everybody felt that that was as probably as an emotional and as thought-provoking testimony to our right to vote, and the fact that Anastasia came to America, became a U.S. citizen, and then voted, regardless of how you feel. I want everybody to understand is that right to vote came about because of protest. And I feel that just because you don't support the reason why someone's protesting, we all support everybody's constitutional rights. I don't care what side of the aisle, whether you're RD, independent, unaffiliated, regardless of how you feel about where somebody stands on an issue, understand is that they have that right to voice their opinion. We maintain our freedom to speech and our freedom to peaceful protest. And I hope that all of us would support that exercise and not bash those that participate and exercise their very rights. So I just wanted to get that out there. I hope that I thought incredible things came about from the Women's March, and every single individual around the world were marching for their own purposes. So regardless of how you feel, whether it was internationally or domestic, women's rights are just as much of a humanitarian right as anybody else. So I'm going to ask everybody, before you think about bashing protesters or their right to protest, look at what rights you currently possess and realize that throughout history, someone stood up to defend your right for you to exercise that today. So thank you all very much. It's an honor to serve the community. And this is Chris Ward signing off.